Okay, for this video I'd like to discuss propping up some of our ceramic forms while we're working on them. For this I have a fired pig right now, little guy, so that way we can use it and I'm not going to damage it during the demo. But inevitably, at some point you're probably going to make something with a piece cantilevered over to the side. The clay is soft, very soft when it's wet, so it's going to want to drop due to gravity. Especially with the ears on this and how much it sticks over, this would definitely want to have dropped when making it. So what the artist might have been able to do is take something like a piece of newspaper and stick it up under the head while they're working on it and while it's drying. That'll help prop it up. You could also use something, per se, a piece of sponge, tear off some more chunks and put it up under there. Something soft so that way it compresses, because as this pig is drying, the pig is slowly shrinking. The newspaper will be able to compensate for that. Another thing I can use is a chunk of clay. So if my pig was wet, I wouldn't want to put this piece of clay, I'm going to squeeze it right up under here so it's holding the pig's nose up, but I wouldn't want to put it that way just because when I take this away it might stick to it some and I might lose some of the detail I carved on the bottom of my pig's head. So instead I'm going to put it on a piece of plastic just to keep it separated. Now the wonderful thing about using clay as a prop is as my pig is drying and shrinking, so is this little chunk of clay. It's drying and shrinking at the exact same rate as my clay pig. What I don't want to use as a prop is something hard and rigid that won't move, like a concrete block, a piece of wood. Because if I put this up under my pig's nose now, if my pig was still wet, as my pig is shrinking and drying, this is not drying, or shrinking, so therefore it's actually going to kind of lift on the pig's head, and eventually the pig will get a crack underneath its neck as it is drying. So when we're trying to prop things up, think of things that are actually going to move with your piece a little bit, because the clay is dynamic while it is shrinking.